3 times. You already know who it is. It's the one and only homie Chef, aka Wings912 on IG. That's WINGZZ912 on Instagram. You looking at me? This is just straight up sneaker talk, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in, showing love. If this is your first time, please hit that subscription button with the notification bell to stay tuned and tapped in for when I drop content, because I drop a lot of early reviews, so on and so forth. So please stay tuned and tapped in. Keep me in the algorithm. Comment, share if you feel compelled. Thank you in advance. Shout out to the Breakfast Club, the one and only homies, the Goonies. Yeah, we've been doing some work, putting in more work, and this is just a little bit of the conversations that we be having. Yeah, sneaker talk, man. A lot of things going on in sneakers. A lot of things that have been said in sneakers, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and comment because people have been asking me how I feel about certain things. So we're gonna wrap, you know what I mean? First thing we're gonna talk about is that viral video of everybody talking about the dude saying that owns the sneaker shop saying sneaker resale is dead. Then you had a couple shop owners tap in, but those people that are tapping in, a lot of the shoes that they are putting money into are like shoes that are of plenty stock. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about the politics of resale. First of all, resale had a big explosion during COVID, and resale was a big thing. You know what I mean? To the point where pandas were going $300-$400, and yeah, some of these companies like Nike saw that, and in order to put a halt to that, they ramped up stock like crazy. So in the last 2 to 3 years, we've seen ridiculous amount of stocks. Not only that, but the amount of releases that are dropping have doubled, almost damn near tripled. You know what I'm saying? So necessarily, you know what I mean, when you have more of a variety to choose from, more styles to choose from, it's just, you know what I mean, resale is going to be affected by that, because, you know what I mean, trends get lost in the sauce in the midst of that. And then not only that, it's very few rare buys where people feel like, you know, it's a shoe that they have to have, considering that you have so many options to choose from. However, we're not going to act like there aren't hype shoes like the Brick by Bricks or Travis Scott ones that are still going to sit up there and do crazy numbers on a resale because they're collabs. They have the hype behind them, you know what I mean? So when it comes to resale, you just got to pick your spots. Like, of course, collabs get the hype, but let's talk GRs. Metallic 5s, high GR, you know what I mean? High resale for a GR, you know what I mean? But very limited in stock. It did have a restock, but, you know, they weren't crazy like that. Same for the Cool Gray 9s. Even just recently, the Black Cat 4s. Black Cat 4s were in abundance, but, you know, they still went crazy. They had a hype behind them, you know what I mean? So it's not so easy as far as these resale shops are depending on just any and every shoe. You know what I mean? You still got to pick your spots. It's just now that, you know what I mean, there's more production, you know what I mean, it's a little bit harder to resell. But I think Nike's going to change that, because we all saw Nike's profits take major hits over the last couple of years, where a lot of shoes like Jordan 1s aren't really having that same hype or popular status and, you know what I mean, trends and everything, and very much so have fallen off tremendously, you know what I'm saying? So don't be surprised if these sneaker companies start changing things up, you know what I mean? But that still doesn't say that resale is dead, you know what I mean? So pick and choose on what you're going after if you are a reseller. That's just, you know what I mean, you got to do your homework, man. Simple as that. Speaking of Travis Scott with the resale, there's been a big I guess rumor going around that he might go to Adidas. A lot of people say that, but you still got certain shoes like the Chase B T-Rex coming out, and then we're already looking at Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows that are dropping next year. To be honest, I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Adidas has some high caliber collabs like Fear of God, who just did the Derrick Rose, you know what I mean, collab, and it's not bad. You know what I mean? They have Pharrell's collab with the Jellyfish, which is going crazy, so on and so forth. But I can't see Travis Scott right now going over to Adidas. You know what I mean? His presence with Nike and the Jordan brand is just insanely huge, and I think they're gonna stick to what's working. You know what I mean? Collabs going crazy, always selling out. Numbers is up through the roof, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Now Thursday there were some releases that were pretty crazy. We're going to talk about them, and we're going to go through in order of how they happened, And yeah, your boy was just a little bit pissed off, but nevertheless, it was always a silver lining in every dark cloud. The first thing I want to talk about is the Stranger Things drop on sneakers. I am convinced. I'm convinced that Nike really doesn't understand what's going on, and this whole bot process of weeding out, I feel like is weeding out real entries. I was in it for the Steve Carrolltons, those Air Max ones. Yes, those are chunky. Those are beautiful. 10 o'clock drop, hop right in. Pretty fast. I could pretty much say I probably entered within 30 seconds. Not a problem. Then I enter and they're saying, "Oh, we're verifying all of these, the raffle entries, weeding out the bots, so on and so forth." And feeling like they supposed to be on a first come first serve basis, they surely weren't. And it's terrible. Because I did not hit the shoe. However, shout out to Nike Sneaker Bot. I'm about to be making a purchase probably. A few of their users hit. So for Nike to be weeding out bots, but yet Nike Sneaker Bot's still hitting, and I'm sure they're not the only ones. Yeah, you're seeing my billing arc grow right here in front of you. If you look back early enough on this channel, I used to bot, but once the stocks and everything changed and it was a lot easier to get shoes, botting wasn't necessary, but however, yeah, I think I'm about to crank up, my old ways, because I'm sorry, man, I'm not about to take no more L's. um that shoe, very very essential to my collection. I really love that colorway, and I really love the upside down logos. Very very dope, but might have to get it on resale, who knows. Another situation was the Supreme drop box logo edition, and that was just disgusting. And I kind of wasn't focused on that. That was like secondhand to this other drop that we're about to get into. But yeah, box logos went crazy. They went fast, as usual. I did want to get that peacock tee, but the peacock tee being a little bit like almost $100, I just couldn't see it. I don't know what's going on with Supreme. Now, the reason why I didn't get the t-shirts is because the quality of t-shirts with Supreme have went straight to the toilet. It's terrible. Don't ask me why, but they're supposed to be pre-shrunk, and somehow they still shrink again, even when you air dry them. Very, very weird. So I felt some sort of way, but I still am in love with their hoodies, hats, and their hoodies and hats. And I didn't get any box logos, so maybe next time. I ain't tripping. But what I am tripping about is Saucony. Saucony had the West Side Gun collab release on Thursday, and that was the most egregious release ever. No bot protection, and I can't believe that they actually put that in the post that they had bot protection. There was no bot protection, but furthermore, for like the first 20 minutes, sizes did not load at all. Like, there was no stress test on the website. They really treated this like this was nothing, and they expected nothing to happen. Everybody knows West Side Gun is one of hip hop's biggest stars right now, one of the biggest like creators and curators of the hip hop form of art, the art of hip hop. And a lot of his fans, I know I was waiting for this shoe. I've been talking about this shoe in a lot, multiple episodes before we got here. And I'm not even mad at him, because he sold some on his sites, but I could see that he only had a few pair in comparison to what Saucony probably dropped on their website. And then not only that, he had some for Kith, and also at the Kith Miami flagship store down there, so they had that release as well. But just for the online people, the common working man, because I was at work trying to get these, like them sizes not loading for like 20 minutes, man. That was the most craziest shit in the world. They only worked on desktop. If you tried to load it and hit the escape button, you would actually be able to get like a freeze frame to be able to actually select the size. And I wear a 13, and that was gone. So that, like, I'm not even blaming West Side Gun, but Saucony, y'all got to do better. Like, that was total bullshit. And please do not go for the whole bot protection. Y'all did not have bot protection. That was the worst bot protection I've ever seen in ever in life. So total bullshit. Total bullshit. However, like I said, there was silver lining in the clouds. And that was my Soulfly on EQL. Shout out to EQL. That is how you do things. I got a W on the Soulfly Jordan 3, so you will have a review here before the end of the year. Thought I would be done, but guess not. And yeah, and I'm an EQL Plus member, and that really works. Now, granted, I do know of a few EQL Plus members that did not hit. So while everybody thinks this was just like, oh, if you were EQL, you got it, that is not true. Not only that, but if you didn't get these through Soulfly, like, I don't think you're getting these. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the boy Chevy said he had to pull some strings. You know what I mean? But he know people. You know what I mean? But my boy got a pair too. So we, you know what I mean? A lot of good people. My boy O. Shout out to Onk. You know what I mean? Like a few people in the Breakfast Club got them. Yeah, we on them. Josh too. I think Josh got them too. So yeah, a few people got them. You know what I'm saying? Very nice shoe. You know what I mean? But we are going to break down those details when we get it in hand. And then not only that, but shout out to Clockwork Skate Shop. They have the Nardwars SB Dunk Lows, and we will be having those reviewed in house. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to get those in hand. That's going to be so fire. You know what I'm saying? So please tune in and tap in. You know what I'm saying? As always, you know what I mean? Showing love, appreciating support. Please subscribe if you haven't. You know what I mean? Hit that notification bell. Stay tuned and stay tapped in. And yeah, it's just good content because we still got a top 10. We got a top 10 list, and I can't wait to do that because I got a few special guests that we are going to be in house, and that's going to be a good episode. You know what I'm saying? But as always, Christmas is coming up, so stay positive. Keep the family and friends close. You know what I mean? All your loved ones close. You already know how it go. Finish off the year strong. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Do what you can, do what you gotta, but keep it on the up and up. Stay hydrated, stay focused, stay hustling, stay low, but more importantly, stay out the way. Mind the business that pays you. I'm just saying, from me to you, good advice, you know what I'm saying? And by any means, keep them sneakers clean, yo. You already know the motto. Before you go pay resale, come here and get them details. If we catch you lacking, understand that we snatching. It's not a game, it's not playing. We outside.